The push to push back the start of school until October, plus what it could look like for COVID patients who make it out of the ICU, and a final farewell to a fallen Valley officer. 12 at 12 starts right now. 12 minutes, no commercials, on TV and on the go, on the 12 News app, Facebook, and YouTube. Hey guys, it's Rachel here. We start with the rising cases of COVID-19 right here in Arizona. The state's surge in coronavirus cases continues. The Department of Health Services reported an increase of 4,273 new cases and 92 new deaths. But a glimmer of hope, ICU beds went from 90% capacity yesterday to 88% today. And this comes as the start of the school year is quickly approaching, and now board leaders and medical professionals are joining forces, demanding that Governor Ducey hit the pause button on reopening classrooms until the state's high number of cases drops. Both teachers and doctors hand-delivered a letter to the governor's office yesterday. They say while there are no easy answers, they think the best option is to keep schools closed until at least October 1st. And as coronavirus cases rise, testing continues. Team 12's Jen Wall reports from the front lines of testing in South Phoenix.
For many people across the country, depending upon where they go for a test, it could take several days to more than a week to get results back. Here at South Mountain Community College, Lab 24 is conducting the testing. Lab 24 is based in Florida. The company says it's taking about 7 to 10 business days to get test results back from this location. Now, Quest Diagnostics, one of the country's largest lab diagnostics companies, says the time it takes to get coronavirus test results back is slowing. In a statement yesterday, Quest attributed the longer wait times to the increasing demand for testing across the country and pointed out the South, Southwest, and West regions in particular. Quest added the average turnaround time for most people is 7 or more days, and they're working to lessen the delay by adding new technology platforms, among other possible solutions. Another large testing manufacturer, LabCorp, repeated Quest's comments about delaying in getting test results back, according to CNBC. Arizona's Department of Health Director says testing is an important tool to help track COVID-19 and slow the spread. Here at SMCC, testing is continuing every Tuesday through Friday, all the way until August 7th. It's free, you don't need an appointment, and you do need to bring your ID. There are also more testing locations across the state. For information there, go to the Arizona Department of Health Services website. For now, we're in Phoenix. Jen Wall, 12 News.
All right, good information. We're continuing to get information on the coronavirus straight from the experts. Here's Dr. Lavecchio with the one thing you need to know about the pandemic today.
And you've been in the intensive care unit, sick enough to be there, don't expect to be well for at least a month after you leave the hospital. And what we mean by that is, be able to walk without becoming short of breath, etc. There is some data suggesting that if you're in the intensive care unit and have lots of virus in your lung, okay, that leads to lots of inflammation, and lots of inflammation could lead to scarring. The same way, if you had a cut and it became infected, it would lead to some scarring on your arm, for example. Well, the scarring on your lung is never a good thing. The lung is like a sponge, and you want it to be elastic and move in and out when you take deep breaths. And unfortunately, when you get scarring in the lung, it's usually a very bad thing. There's not much you can do. You try to maximize with, diet, exercise, weight loss. If not, you got to resort to things like a lung transplant. That's what a lot.
All right, Dr. Lavecchio there. And you've seen the videos. Some people comply, but some throw tantrums trying to get away without wearing masks. Team 12's Ryan Cody explains why masks are so controversial.
So what is it about a seemingly insignificant piece of cloth that has Americans so triggered? You know it. We're talking about masks. And why are they so controversial? Seriously, let us know. 602-444-1212 is the number to text. And this isn't a shame session here. We're really looking into the psychological reasons why some people are refusing to wear masks. And we're not talking about the people with medical reasons, solely those who refuse to wear them because they feel threatened. Back up. You remember this guy at Costco in Florida? That's what we're talking about. The people who just go off on others, virtually losing their minds just when someone asks them to put a mask on. There has to be something that's happening that triggers people so much. And I will say be careful, because this guy actually lost his job because of this viral tirade. So clearly going berserk was important enough for him to put his entire livelihood at risk. The question is why? So here's an expert from Georgia State on the psychology.
I think there's this knee-jerk reaction that I don't want to be told what I need to do. Behavior change and attitude change is not an easy feat. In our country, wearing masks isn't a cultural norm. I think part of what we're seeing is this resistance to something that isn't normal in our society.
Right, so it's resistance when someone tells you to do something. I guess people don't like being told what to do. This comment coming in, I'm a healthcare worker. I would wear a mask sometimes off and on up to 10 hours a day. It's really not that big a deal. People need to be less selfish and think of the safety of others. Arizona cherishes freedom. Yeah, of course we do. We recoil from the thought of a nanny state. Encouraging citizens to police others is a virtual guarantee for confrontation. Yeah, I mean, who doesn't like freedom? I don't know that this is the same thing, though. I think people are having a hard time wearing masks because maybe subconsciously they feel like it's taking away their identity. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you got a mask on at the store, you can't see each other, and that's, you know, maybe that's what they mean by identity. But keep weighing in because we had a lot of good responses on this on both sides here. So again, not a shame session. Let us know how you feel about the whole thing. I mean, clearly there's a lot of people on both sides of this issue. What do you guys think?
I think it's best to just mind your own business. Thanks a lot, Ryan. With new details coming out constantly, we know it can be tough to keep up, but you can find the latest details about the coronavirus and how it's affecting State 48 on the free 12 News app. Hashtag most clicked. Here are the stories piquing everyone's interest right now. Family and friends said their final goodbyes to fallen Peoria officer Jason Judd this morning. The police officer died 2 weeks ago when his motorcycle came out from under him and he crashed into a wall. His funeral was held at a church in Peoria. A procession followed. After 6 days of searching a California lake, authorities found the body of missing Glee actress Naya Rivera. She rented a boat with her 4-year-old son on July 8th. The Ventura County Sheriff's Office says Rivera and her son went swimming, and after she helped him get back on the boat, she never resurfaced. And take a look in this picture. You can see several of the Glee cast members standing together on the shore of Lake Peru where her body was found. She was just 33 years old. The other big story in Arizona, the heat. Here's Crystal with your forecast 411.
Early risers have been met with some pretty sunrises, but harsh heat. This morning marked 7 days straight now in Phoenix where the mercury refused to fall below that 90 mark. The last time we had a lower temperature reading was July 7th at 7:16 a.m. to be exact. So with 7 straight mornings in a row with a minimum in the 90s, that ties the 2012 record for Phoenix. Now, when it comes to back-to-back 110-plus days, today we could pull off number 11 in a row. It wouldn't break the 1974 record, but when it comes to 110s in July, we already set that record yesterday, and we could just keep outdoing ourselves today. Dry days, we think the Valley's going to make that day number 94. Because we're going zip, zilch, zero, nada on the monsoon meter for the Valley in western Arizona, with low end of the totem pole numbers for northern Arizona, the White Mountains in southeastern Arizona. Should a storm erupt, it would be an exception, not the norm, and the main threats would be lightning, new fire starts, and gusty outflow winds. With our atmosphere having a little bit of moisture up its sleeve for us, dew points are in the 50s, so it's still feeling a little bit sticky out there, and we're going to be hitting right around that 110 mark pretty much the rest of the week here in the Valley. 105 today in southern Arizona. Temperatures will fall later in the week, and then our monsoon pattern could be offering up more storm action heading into the weekend for much of our state.
All right, thanks a lot, Crystal. And looking ahead to this afternoon, beginning on First at 4, our very own Mark Curtis is sitting down for a conversation with presumptive Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden. It's an interview you'll only see on 12 News, again, beginning at 4 o'clock today. And we've started a conversation with the African-American community on the experiences, lived, and perspectives on race relations here in our community. You're about to see a clip from our upcoming documentary, The Work is Hard and Not Done, Being Black in the Valley. It premieres this Thursday at 7 o'clock.
You had 2 black people on a military base in a bar, a pub, or something of that nature, and they get into an argument. It happens. The argument spills outside. The MPs show up and just start knocking heads. They leave the Papago Park area and go into the Black, which isn't that far away, and just start rousting people, potting houses with 50 caliber weapons, shooting into homes where men, women, and children were, to round up 2 folks. And we weren't alone. This happened in cities all over the United States. But again, many people think that Arizona and Phoenix is immune and has been immune to those sorts of things. But it certainly happened. Yes, it started as a fight among black folks. But the people who were sworn to protect and serve them as a group didn't distinguish one person from another.
All right, again, that airs this Thursday. The Work is Hard and Not Done, Being Black in the Valley at 7 o'clock right here on 12 News. If you're facing challenges and need help to pay your mortgage or maybe your rent, go to 12news.com/contest to enter for help in paying up to $1,000 toward your bill. And that's your 12 at 12, the facts on everything you need to know in just 12 minutes. No commercials. We're always on, anywhere, anytime on 12news.com, the free 12 News app, and our social media channels as well. We'll see you all again really soon for First at 4 in just a couple of hours. Stay well, friends.